Good morning. This is Jenna from Spiritually Savage, and welcome to Wellness Wednesdays. I want to make this something that will help you on your journey of healing and releasing all your trauma. I keep getting so many emails about how to start your healing journey, like what are the first steps? And I want to tell you that one of the very first steps is that you need to understand that change has to occur. So when we keep doing the same things over and over again, we are not going to get different results. We have to change something, and you have to be okay with change. And a lot of times people get overwhelmed with what to change, or that so many things have to change. If you'll just change one thing, then other things will start to change. So I know that there's so much resistance to change because we get in this comfortable situation and we rely on security, or what we think is security. So I want you to start to train your mindset to understand that there is no such thing as security. Anything can happen in our life at any time. So many times we believe that our job is secure, and then the company goes bankrupt, or you get laid off. Or you believe that your family is secure, and then there's a death or something happens that breaks people apart. So we need to understand that security is an illusion that we use to wrap ourselves in a blanket to keep us from moving. It's literally what our mind does to protect us from what we feel is risk. Risk is your only option, and that is because life constantly changes. The only constant in life is that you change. You get older, time moves on, things change every single day, whether we refuse to move or not. So I get it all the time that people go, I don't understand how you're so okay with change, that you love change, that you change things on purpose. So I want to kind of explain to you my mindset. And something triggered this a couple of weeks ago when I was having a really good conversation with somebody that I'm close to. And they just had a death in their immediate friend family. One of their really close friends' mother had passed away. And my friend was telling me that she was so upset that her daughter in her early 20s, I think she's 22, had experienced so much death in her life, and that was just so, not what you should experience at that young age, that you shouldn't have to face those types of things at a young age. And I really felt for her, but when I got off the phone, I really started thinking about it and started thinking about all the death that I had experienced in my life. I have experienced a lot of death, and I lived in an area where death was a pretty common occurrence. And so I had experienced a lot of unusual deaths, but a lot of deaths that were for people my own age. And then at the age of 20, my father passed away, and a few weeks later, my very best friend since third grade was killed. So I experienced death throughout my life for a long period of time, and then I experienced some really profound deaths at a very early age. And I learned the very principle of impermanence, that you can't build your life around people, places, and things, that they were not permanent, that they change all the time, and that sometimes they go away. And some people, when you say that out loud, and sometimes even when I was processing that, I started thinking, well, that's really sad that you feel like nothing is permanent in your life. But I will tell you that I look at it as a totally different way. Every time I see a person, every time I see a place that I love and that I enjoy, that means something to me, I enjoy it like it might be the last time I see it. I tell people everything that I need to tell them every time that I see them, just in case I might not see them again. When I was 16, we had a really close friend who I talked to on the phone every single day. And they used to laugh at me because whenever I would hang up the phone, I would say, I love you. Always. And I do. My friends that I've grown up with, my whole life, my friends that I'm very close to now, you ask them, they will always tell you that before I hang up the phone, I say, okay, I love you. I'll talk to you later. Always. And so this particular day, he called me in the morning and we chatted, and I was going to be late. I didn't realize that I was running late for something. And so I said, I have to talk to you later. And I said, I got to get to the shower. Okay, bye. And I hung up. And while I was in the shower, he called back and left me a message, and I didn't see it. So later on that, I had to go do something during the day. And when I came back later that day, one of our friends called and said to me that my friend who I'd spoken to in the morning had been in a horrible accident and was killed. And I was devastated. And I remember going up to my room and hitting, and I saw I had a message, and I thought, oh God, it's more people calling to tell me that he's passed away. And I hit the message, and I heard his voice come out of the answering machine, and he said, haha, you were in a rush, and you didn't tell me that you loved me. But I love you, and I want you to know that I know that you love me because you show me every day. And I remember that message every single day. And when I think of him, I think it wasn't a matter of whether he knew that I loved him. He knew that I loved him because not only did I tell him every day, but I showed it to him. So we have to learn that this moment might be our only moment, and that this chance to change might be our only chance to change. Because I see things as impermanent, I know that no matter how long a relationship is or how secure we feel it is, that it will end at some point, either by breakup or death. And so one of the things that I want you to do is to look for opportunities, because the universe always gives you opportunities for an out. I'm a control freak, and for my control freaks, let me tell you that change is your ultimate chance to feel like you are in control, because the universe will give you opportunities to change things in your life. And sometimes we're afraid to take them. And then sometimes if we don't take them, then we see why it was offered to us. Because when we get that job offer and we go, yeah, but I've been at this place for 10 years and I'm about to get this, and this. And then 3 weeks later, after we pass up that opportunity, we're laid off or the company closes. Then we know that was the universe giving us an out. Because I look at everything impermanent, I look at every single opportunity and consider, is this something that I should take? Is this the universe giving me an escape hatch? Because when I choose to make this change, then I control the timing. I control the details. I control how it unfolds. But if I carry on and whatever impermanence plays out in my life, I don't get to control that. So I really want you, as you go along these days, try to change your mindset about change. Understand that we are growing beings, and in order to grow, we must change. When you see plants, they're either growing or they're dying. And if you see an obstacle in a plant's way, don't they usually just grow right around it or through it? We have to learn to adapt and change more like that, and understand that we have to change through our obstacles, around our obstacles. We have to move around those things. We don't wait for them to be removed. I really want you to start looking and really focus on what you can change. Just that one thing. Even if it's something simple like your hair or the way you do your makeup or the way you dress. Something to make you feel different and to accept change more. Move your furniture around in your living room. Do something simple to start getting the mindset of change and movement in your life, because that's what we're going to talk about, is movement and change. And next week, we're going to take stock of what's in our life and really see what it is that we want and the things that are really going to change as we make these movements. All right? Enjoy your Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of your life. Have a great day.